Alright, welcome back everybody to the next episode in our Demon's Souls walkthrough. We are now at the Leechmonger Archstone, and we're going to make our way into Zone 2-2. Now, similar to what I was saying when I first went into the Valley of Defilement, my recording had initially captured the video footage, but it did not capture my audio footage. So I'm currently on my new character. But I am still using the same kind of setup. I just have on the fluted set along with the cling ring. I am using the Dragonbone Smasher and the Adjudicator shield. So I'm trying to, replicate exactly what we would have when we do get to this area, like when you guys do it. So I'm probably only going to go to a certain point here in the swamps, and then I'm actually going to switch it over to my main character that I've been using for the playthrough. Just because there's a particular enemy, Black Phantom, that I want to show you guys how to kill, or I guess an easier way to take them out. But alright, I'm going to stop blabbing away and we'll get to it. But I would recommend, that you would put on whatever the the Royal Lotus, just because this whole swamp area, you will get poisoned just by standing in it. And it's a real pain in the butt. But obviously if you have the Regenerator's Ring, that's definitely a good one to have. But once you get down here, I would encourage you, go right. I think there should be at least, there's 2 items over here. I think one of them actually might be the Regenerator's Ring. Alright, Meridian Hammer, that's a decent melee weapon. It's more like I guess like a halberd kind of attacks moveset. I don't think there's anything else beyond this item. Alright, yeah, it is a Regenerator's Ring. Okay. Tell you what. Now we're gonna go all the way to the left, and this is also where we're gonna run into the that Black Phantom that I was just talking about. I also did the same kind of like build on this character, where it's a pretty high, not high strength, but I think I got my strength up to like 30 or 32 to 34, something like that. The only bad part about like this swamp area is like you can't roll. When you try to roll, it'll show you like your feet are stuck in the mud and you can't really move. It's almost as if like if you were over encumbered and were wearing too heavy of armor, like you can only walk, you can't really run, you can't roll, like this, that. Ugh. Just takes too much out of you. But alright, there should be, when you look, once you get to these, I don't know, these scaffolding looking things, there will be a couple different islands. When you get to the first island with the first item, I would encourage you to go ahead, pick up the item, Dark Moon Grass. You might need it, just because the Black Phantom is actually right around here, and it's going to be very difficult for you to avoid any of their attacks. And I don't know if you guys can see in the distance over there, like the splashing, like a little bit of that water moving. That's actually the Black Phantom. They're currently carrying the same weapon that the Adjudicator was carrying, like that butcher's. Oh shoot, there she is. Oh fudge. They're currently carrying the Adjudicator's axe, which it heals upon striking you. Like striking an enemy, it'll actually heal you, I believe. I think it's a pretty strong strength weapon. Come on. There we go. Just got to bait her over. And now we're just going to one-hand our Dragonbone Smasher, and we're going to do R2. Oh, or not. Whoa! We're going to do R2, because that should just send her flying. And then when she starts to get up, we're going to do it again. And it just healed her when she struck me. There we go. That's probably going to be the easiest way to take this Black Phantom out. Once she gets close enough, just do R2. You'll send her flying, and you can stay safe on this island. So let's pick this up. Chunk of Faint Stone, Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. Okay. Now, that was the biggest thing I was concerned about, just because she's killed me before, especially when I didn't know when I first started playing that you couldn't roll. when you're in the swamp area, and she completely decimated me. But I want to go to the perimeter here because there should be a lot of crafting upgrades. I want to make sure I get them, and then I'll make sure I clear out this first area before we move on, in terms of just like looting everything. The cat's ring. Decrease fall damage, okay. It's like the game knows I'm bad at platforming. Pure Suckerstone. Suckerstone will increase the damage from bleeding. I believe it also increases the dexterity scaling in your weapon, so it's really good for any kind of curve, like a katana, a falchion, or scimitar, things like that. The Kiji, I think you can actually use that too. In case you hear that, man, my dog is whimpering in his sleep. Man, this always seems to happen whenever I'm recording, I swear. Okay, so for this area, there's these big guys you saw me like mess up against last time. Probably best thing to do is just try to, I don't know, do one attack and then just back up, because there are 3 of the other little guys around him. So let's just see if we can bait him into swinging. We'll do an attack. We'll bait him into swinging. Do an attack. Or just kidding, we'll mess up an attack. How did that not kill you? Oh, gosh. There we go. I mean, these guys, that may be one of the most difficult enemies that you're going to experience, just because, especially in the swamp, if you can't roll, and their melee attack, just so much damage, and it acts as a knockdown. But now we can just go ahead and bully the other guys. There we go. Okay. Oh, I missed an item. Shoot. Like I said, though, I do want to be thorough. There are a lot of good items in this area, despite me hating it. There's also, in case anybody wants to do like a really a high faith build, there's actually the Sword of Moonlight. I believe that's what it's called in this game. It's the Moonlight Greatsword, in case you've played any of the Dark Souls games. I think it's even from like... oh man, I don't remember some of FromSoftware's other games, like their original games. But it's always made an appearance in any of the FromSoftware games, I believe. I mean, heck, it's even in Cannot Carry Overburden. Okay. Shard of Suckerstone. It's even in not Demon Souls, geez, Bloodborne. In the DLC. Royal Lotus, okay. I actually didn't know that they dropped anything. And also, because we had picked up the Knight Sword last time, on my other character, the one that I've been doing the playthrough on, I have been farming for shards and chunks of greystone, which you can actually find in the armor, or the Stonefang tunnel, killing like the rock worms. They actually will drop them. So I upgraded it to the crushing line, which is, it deals a lot of strength damage, and it completely removes any dex scaling, which is great for the Knight Sword because it doesn't have any dex scaling or stat requirement as it is. And so that's what I was doing in the meantime. So when I do switch over to my other character, I'll show you what I have my Knight Sword at, in terms of like the upgrade that I have on there. But let's keep getting this stuff, and then we can move on. Hero Soul. Soul. Okay, I think that was it. Now I think we can actually keep moving on and progress to the next area. Yeah, I think that's it. The weather in this zone is like mirroring what it is actually outside where I live. It's like a heavy downpour today. Alright, let's cure. There we go. So you can, when we do get the world tendency to pure white, over there you can see like that item next to that candle. There's actually going to be an NPC that we're going to talk to. And we're actually going to get her armor set once we do get the world tendency to pure white. But obviously not just yet. I probably will do like pure white tendency events just in one other video. I know I already did like the pure white for Boletarian Palace, or Boletarian Palace, however you pronounce it. I'll definitely do all the other pure white world tendency events in just one video, just that way I can kind of show you what we were trying to accomplish this whole time. I may even do like the pure black events just before I finish the playthrough, because I think there is some value in doing pure black as well. Enemies will drop more souls. You know, I think you also have a higher chance of getting upgrade materials like ore, which is great. You know, we definitely could use some of that stuff to upgrade our gear, just to make us a little bit more effective in battle. Ooh, I thought I was going to get hit by that hot poker. It's going to brand my ass. Oh, shoot. Alright, what we got? Black turpentine. Let's keep jumping down. Nothing else. Okay. Oh, I hate these mosquitoes. The blood that they squirt, obviously that can damage you, but also they have like a grab attack, so I wouldn't get too close to them. The grab attack does a little bit of that. Of course, perfect timing, right? West Nile. No. Okay, they can also poison you. So. Jeez. Sorry about that. I usually don't curse that much, especially in a recording. Alrighty. Now we made it to a point of interest I wanted to point out. So this is actually right where the Sword of Moonlight is. You can see all the slugs here, so I would just encourage you to kill them. They're not very tough. You should be able to like one or two shot them. But there you saw one fall. There's actually like a nest of them above us, as you can see, like right above my right arm. We have to go up there and actually cut that down. Just because that's actually where the Sword of Moonlight is. But right now, let me just go ahead and take these guys out first. I think actually they may just keep falling. I may be fighting a losing battle here. Alright, let's then tell you what, let's just keep moving then. I can't remember if it stops. And it doesn't look like that nest is getting any smaller, so I'm sure that they just keep ooh, frame rate. Jeez. Oh man, that was rough right there. I think they just keep dropping, so let's just keep moving on. Now, upcoming here, there's going to be, I think, at least 2 of those big guys, and there's also going to be one of, you can see like that purple mist to the left of the fog gate. I think he's actually carrying the plague or like poison, so he does like a ranged attack. I just want to see if we can maybe bait him, and then we're going to go and try to bait one of the big guys at a time, so we don't we don't put ourselves into a terrible position. Can you see me? What if I leave this item? There we go. Alright, I got the big guy, and it looks like the plague dude behind the other big guy is not coming after us. Ooh, does that actually stagger them? The one-handed R2? No. Okay, I think it was just coincidence that I did enough damage after swinging twice. Alright, there we go. We got the other guy. We got the plague dude to come after us. Come on. There we go. What you got for us? Shard of Faint Stone. Awesome. So the Faint Stone, and I think we also got the chunk of Faint Stone from that Black Phantom. That's actually what you're going to use for any kind of faith build. So like in doing the Blessed upgrade line, like you saw the Blessed Mace that we had been using a little bit before. So that's good in case you just want to do like a miracle caster. Also having a faith weapon, or a blessed weapon, excuse me, it will you'll get the healing over time, which I think, especially if you're going to pair it with like the Adjudicator Shield or anything else, it's just good for survivability. So that way you don't have to, you're not so squishy, I guess. But all right, once we get here, we're not actually going to go through that fog gate just yet. We're going to make a left here. And I would encourage you, don't worry about any of the mosquitoes. You're going to see a lot of them, I think, coming after us once we get to a certain point. Yeah, here they come. Don't worry about fighting them. You probably will get, you will get poisoned just like I did. Go ahead and loot this item. The Storied Hero Soul. I'm going to quickly get the poison off, and we're just going to go up to higher ground to a better position. So I can kind of funnel them to me like they're doing right now instead of having them all clumped together. Let's kill this slug first. And then, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Otherwise, you can just get your, you're going to get overwhelmed, and that's just not fun. Now, this is actually, this path here is going to lead us up to the Sword of Moonlight. Alright, doesn't look like there's anything else besides like these slugs here. There we go. Oh! There we go. That's the only bad thing about having a big weapon. Sometimes when you're in a confined space, it'll sometimes ricochet off of off the wall or any of the other like environment. Oh, I thought you were gonna attack. Of course, when I go to attack, then you do. There is much rejoice. Oh, show no! Whew! Whew! Okay, so there you saw, I couldn't remember that there was that gap there, but I would just, try to run across it or roll, don't just slow walk. And now that you're here, I think you just have to attack this, like the nest. At least I believe that's what you gotta do. You gotta attack it enough, and then I think it should actually fall. Maybe? Maybe not. There you go. Alright, you just gotta attack it enough until it finally just drops. For a second I was like, man, my memory is really bad. I can't remember how to do half this crap. Okay, there we go. We'll just drop down, and now we can just take the path down, and it's going to lead us right back down to where the sword landed and where that pile of slugs are. But now there shouldn't be any more dropping, so now we can just, you know, have fun swinging our big sword. There we go. Oh man, I'm preparing for the frame rate to drop again. I don't think there's any left. Okay. Before I get the sword, let's go ahead and just loot this stuff. Shard of Sucker Stone. I think I said in a previous video, I haven't really done any kind of Sucker Stone upgrade line yet. But it would be cool to do that. It's more like just good damage over time instead of like burst. If you play like any other kind of class-based combat or like spec where you could choose burst or you know, damage over time builds. Alright, there we go. Alright, now let's draw the sword from the ground. Strange women lying in ponds distributing swords. Large sword of moonlight. There we go. I don't even think I have enough faith to use it. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, so it looks like you need 24 faith. It has no strength, dex, or magic requirement, but it does have an S scaling in faith. So definitely a great weapon to use if you're going to be a faith user. And I think it also cannot be blocked by shields. Like it will pass through their guard, which is that's pretty awesome. Tell you what, friends, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm just going to keep playing on this character at this point, just because we are close enough to the boss. I'm not going to switch over, you know. So, alright, let's go through this fog gate. As you can see, there's a woman in front of us. That's the filthy woman. She now, I believe, will have more upgrade materials.
I know you. Won't you buy something? My poor child is sick. He needs your help.
Oh, she actually sells Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. I didn't know that. Alright, so now she sells Shards of Faint Stone. It looks like this hasn't changed at all. Rotten Arrows. And still has like... Oh! Ooh, now she has the Meridian set, like the Temple Knight set. Nice. I kind of always liked that helmet. Even though I'm not on my main character. Should I do that? Yeah, screw it. Yeah, I'll buy that, why not?
Finished.
Whatever. Alright, let's keep moving on. I think pretty soon I'm going to be over encumbered because we did pick up a lot of stuff here. But now, at least in this area right here, there shouldn't be any more of the big guys, so you don't have to worry about that, but there will be a lot of like the little dregs that you see running around. And you can see there is another one of the plague carriers. Ooh, jeez. Ah, there we go. Alright, I got poisoned by that plague carrier. He just cast that ranged ability. Alright, so I think it is pretty imperative that we take care of him. And see if we can do that over him. Yes! Weapon mechanics. There we go. Shard of Faint Stone. Storied Soldier Soul. See if I can smack that guy. No. Okay. I don't remember how to get back up from here. Alright, well there is an item over there. But I think I just have to go back this way. Let's just do that just to be thorough. Jeez. Oh, looks like that guy dropped something. Late moon grass, awesome. Good. What? Jeez. Alright. Oh, okay. I thought I had to run back, like backtrack a little bit more than that, but that's fine. Whoa, 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 whoa. I can't remember, but there should be also a weapon around here. I like to do like a dex build, like a dex faith build, and I'll buff my weapon with like light weapon or curse weapon. And there's actually supposed to be the shodel around here, or the shatel, the shodel. I'm not sure the pronunciation on it, but it's a curved blade. It's the same blade that Yurt of the Silent Chief was using. And it actually will still damage enemies when they're guarding, because due to the curved blade, it actually will hook around shields, which is pretty cool. And I ended up playing Dark Souls before I played Demon Souls, and there's a character in Dark Souls 1. Oh wow, that barely healed me. There's a character in Dark Souls 1 that uses it, and I just thought it was so cool. And also, it could be a pretty decent dex weapon. I mean, it's not going to be like the best that you find, but I don't know. Half the battle is trying to find a weapon that you just enjoy using. As long as it fits like your playstyle and you enjoy using it, I find that half the time you're going to be better with it, rather than trying to fit something that's the best. Man, this Dragonbone Smasher, I'm really happy we picked this up. This has made the playthrough a lot easier, just because of how strong it is and the knockdown effect that it has. And it's just super funny to watch that. Send enemies flying. It's like you're basically playing T-ball. There we go. One of the plague dudes. Ow! Come on. I thought I had enough time. No way, dude. I missed too many World Lotuses from you. Alright, did you drop anything for me? What? How'd I get poisoned again? What? Alright. Well, I don't know how the hell I got poisoned from that, but... okay. Well, it's just always good to keep the Royal Lotuses on hand. As you saw, I've burned through a lot of those. Can I? Okay, I don't need to make that jump. I can just go around. I see you. I see you. Can't hide from me. Oop. Unknown Hero Soul. What do we got over here? Storied Hero Soul. Okay, it's not bad. I think that item over there is actually the Shodel. Let me see. Yeah, awesome. There we go. Now the only other thing I guess I do want to do before we go after the boss, I want to open up a shortcut just back to the beginning area, and then I think there should be an item or two that is actually down below us, like in the swamps. I'm going to quickly get that, just because I can't even remember. Woo! I can't remember what that item is. There we go. Perfect. Anything up here? Oh, this is just the way to the boss. Okay. faint stone. Yeah, and that's just, we can drop down there, and that'll lead us to the boss fight. But what? Where the heck did you come from? I swear, they're like just popping out of nowhere. Do not, I would not really recommend you jumping down there. There are a couple enemies, like those large dudes. I think they're slightly off in the distance. Well, I guess you could. I think you may be able to be safe from that. I may jump down there and get that after we open up the shortcut. But there's, off in the distance, though, there's actually going to be like an island out in the middle of the swamp. I think it just has like a bunch of stone of ephemeral eyes and maybe like a weapon out there. But there's those 3 giant dragling guys, and since you can't really roll and all of them are gonna bum rush you, I will usually just like use a bow or something like that to draw each of them out one at a time. But man, I can't tell you how many times I've died from that. Ooh, man, I gotta be careful I don't roll off the edge. Let's see if I can get them to line up again. There we go. Perfect. Unknown hero Saul. Shard of Marrowstone. And actually, I looked up for Marrowstone. It's it increases the critical hit damage for your weapon. Like, it'll turn it to fatal, I think is what the actual title of it is. Like that, it's called like the fatal line. So your riposte, so anytime you parry an enemy or if you do a backstab, it's going to do more damage. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I haven't done that either. I think that would be kind of cool with like a dagger or something. Yeah, this is a really long shortcut. And there's the crystal lizard. There's that son of a... You will be mine. What? No, I guess I didn't directly strike him. Okay, whatever. I'm not too worried. Just kick this down, and then this will actually lead you back up to the archstone that we came in at. So there we go. We took care of the shortcut. Now let's go back. I will jump down to that one little island, quickly loot those, the items that are there, and then we'll make our way to the boss, and we'll call it a day for the video, or this episode. Ah, there it is. That's the island I was talking about. That has like those 3 drag guys. I can see one of them right above my helmet. There's another one that's standing above that item, and there's another one to the middle. I can barely make him out, but I would say if you can get a bow or something, and then just manually aim, and you could probably just try to take them down that way. For this, there you go. Just press forward, keep pressing forward on the thumbstick. You'll eventually climb up. Okay. So it's actually after. It's after this, like after this barrier. So there's no real way that you could run to safety. Yeah, that's. Oh man. Gotta love FromSoftware for doing that to you. They're trying to goad you into, being too greedy and getting your butt killed. There you go. Let's loot this now. Unknown hero soul. Shaman. Okay, you just get an armor set. That's pretty cool. And let's make our way back. Alright, now let's take on the boss. As you saw, we had picked up a lot of like the black turpentine. You can definitely use that for this boss fight. I think that's probably the smartest way to go. Oh, I forgot about the other items. Hang on. One track mind. But I would definitely buff your weapon in here. Because the boss that we're going to fight, he's similar to like the Leechmonger. he's like a plague monstrosity looking thing that he's got like different pieces of armor on. I think it's like he actually just has like wood planks on him or her, I don't know, wood planks on it, and we need to knock them off before we can actually do like some serious damage to him. But let's go ahead, and if I don't have, actually no, we might need to keep on the Royal Lotus because I think he actually will damage us and poison us. Don't I have, I would put on regular turpentine as well as the black turpentine, because the black turpentine doesn't last as long. So I think I might just do the regular turpentine first. Alright, we gotta go up first. I'm getting myself all turned around in here. Got me all jug up. Alright, let's go. I think his name's like the Dirty Colossus or something like that. No, that's buff. And we'll keep on late moving. There he is. He's got like a Gatling gun on his arm. That's an attack where I think, yeah, if you're too close to him, I think he'll actually poison you with that. Oh gosh. Okay. I've always found just trying to like hug his back and keep your shield up, like hug his right, our left, you're gonna strafe. And I've found that I haven't gotten struck by that. Like his arm will just miss you with the initial strike. Like here, I'll show you. There you go. And then, yeah, just keep straight. There we go. Definitely buff your weapon. It may take you a little bit longer than that because I do have a little bit more strength on this guy than the other character I was using. But pretty easy boss fight, as you saw. And now I think there should be a couple items that I'm just going to loot. And then I'll head back to the Nexus, and we're going to call it an episode right there. There should be, I think, at least one more item to loot. I think. Maybe. Oh, there it is. See you. Storied soldier soul. Okay. There we go. Eroded demon soul. Right on. Alright, friends. Again, I appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next video. Alright, take care.